So when you have a bad memory with said song,
Oh no.
it's not a good song.
Aw. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown. Man, I hear my voice. I'm like already kind of like not like ready with this time change. So as we're doing this recording, it's the day after daylight savings time here in the United States, which the rest of the world laughs at us about because they're like, what is this?
It's so true.
And so we sprung ahead. We lost an hour yesterday, but yesterday didn't seem to bother me. Today seems very compounded. Like,
Well, it's the first week work day
right
after the time change.
But hey, here I am. Here you are. And we are here to do our show for everybody. Please make sure that you hit that follow button wherever you're listening to the show, or that subscribe button wherever you're watching the show, because all those little actions make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that 3 seconds, maybe 2 seconds that it takes to just click that button actually helps grow the show. So we really appreciate you just taking that extra step to hit the follow or subscribe button, because it does help. Right, Amanda Sharp?
It really does. And I know it sounds like a broken record, but you cannot understand, unless you're a creator or a business, how important that is. So please do it. Please do it. And now we will give you our show.
Yes. Now
that we've nagged you enough.
So if this is your first time checking out the Song Swap Showdown, guess what? This is how the show works. If you didn't get to see it in a little description right here or a little trailer, well, Amanda and I share, or I should say swap, 3 songs with each other each and every week, usually by different artists, although we have done single artists sometimes as well. But for the most part, it's usually 3 different artists with songs that we don't think the other has ever heard before. And then we rate those songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a dumpster fire. I don't ever want to hear it again. Get it off my playlist. All the way to number 5, which is heavenly music to our ears on the eternal playlist of
yes,
the loving playlist, the playlist or lists that this song will wind up on forever and ever in our hearts and ears.
That's right. And hopefully yours.
Yeah. So Amanda, I mean, as if you're watching the video version of this, right? You see Amanda and I are both wearing green today.
Yes, we are.
So that can only mean one thing, Amanda Sharp. What does it mean?
It means we have the look of the Irish behind us, and we are doing a Irish themed episode in observance of the fun holiday to come this Friday, which is St. Patrick's Day. So much fun. It's good. So today, yes, we are Irish inspired. And let me tell you, Chris Baglio, when we went out, because this was Chris's idea to do this. And
it was my idea.
It was. And I was all for it until I went to start picking my songs. And I was conflicted. And I don't know if you were, but I had 2 lists prepared for Chris. I said, okay.
I knew you would. That's the thing about it. I knew you would without even saying it.
I was like, all right, I'm going to do 3 of my favorite songs from Irish artists. But then just in case his list is a little different than mine, I'm going to come prepared with 3 songs that are good for more of St. Patrick's Day. So I had 3 lists ready to go. But I sent the one that I wanted. Hopefully, the show could get themed around first. And his list very much kind of mimicked mine in a similar way, with the exception of one fun song that I think was a little bit more jiggy.
Jiggy exactly. With it. Well, that's so, like you, I was also saying, wow, I could go with this in so many different ways. And I did have a list where it was all more of one of the songs on my list, which we'll reveal unless you're already looking at the show notes and you already know what songs are on here. But I was like, but I also felt like if I do that, then every song's going to sound the same. And I know you probably wouldn't have heard those songs before, but I feel like it's very expected. So I said, well, let me do this. Let me put one kind of a fast, upbeat, more of a traditional Irish type song. And by the way, spoiler, is not Dropkick Murphys, everybody. I think everybody expected me to put Dropkick Murphys on here, I'll say I love Dropkick Murphys. I think they're an amazing band. I fully into them, but let's face it, everybody. I mean, it is, as far as St. Patrick's Day goes and Dropkick Murphys, it's, it's played out a little bit. I mean, I like it. It's fun, but I listen to Dropkick Murphys all year round, not just on St. Patrick's Day. However, I did not put any Dropkick Murphys on my list. So I said, I want to mix it up. So I'll give you the fast, like jiggy. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to move into, I'm going to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, I'm not sure. I think maybe you've heard of the second band, but I'm not sure if you heard this song. So I'll be interested to see if this is a song that's been on your radar. And I know for sure there's no way you heard my third song. And I was like, I wanted to go a little bit more historical. I'm going to say historical on my third pick. So I wanted to make sure I had good variety for you.
I like it. All right. And my list was, it should become a no surprise who's on my list. No surprise at all.
I was not surprised at all by your list.
But I feel like your song, to me, your first one, kicks off the feeling and the inspiration of this. So let's start with your first song to me, which was Drunken Lullabies by Flogging Molly.
It's a great song.
I Southernized it.
Yeah, you did.
Flogging Molly.
Flogging Molly. Yeah, you totally put a Southern twist on that one. I was excited to send you this song, and I'd seen Flogging Molly, or at least most of their. I didn't see their whole set, but we had went to go see them with the Interrupters, actually, last summer in Asbury Park, and they were awesome. I didn't get to stay the whole time, but I saw at least the first few songs, and man, they are a great live band. I highly recommend. They're coming around again. Man, if you haven't seen Flogging Molly live, please go. It is a fun show. Dancing, people having a great time, and they're an awesome live band.
I mean, when you hear this song, it's a dancing song.
It is a dancing song. So let's play a little bit for the people to hear.
Boom, right off the bat.
Some Drunken Lullaby.
Get you going. This is St. Patrick's Day week.
I mean, let's go. There you go.
It's fun. I mean, I feel like I can listen to that song any time of year, but I definitely feel like it has the right feeling of St. Patrick's Day there. So my favorite lyrics of this song are so fun. They're, "'cause we find ourselves in the same old mess, singing drunken lullabies." Like, I just found those like lyrics so powerful and very real to real life.
Yeah, it's great. And I've always loved Flogging Molly too, because they're just like they're just one of these bands. They're like that, more like the folk punk Irish band, obviously, once again, if people were into Dropkick Murphys, which is different, I do consider them very different, because Dropkick Murphys, Boston, East Coast, like, born and bred, like Boston guys, like, who very lean on their Irish heritage and like make their music that they make. I feel like Flogging Molly style is like significantly different for sure.
They're super fun. And I just love, I don't know, I can't hear the Irish music and have it not get me just so happy. Do you feel that way? Like, when you hear that sound, do you just immediately go into a smile and you just feel good?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely do. I mean, it's that upbeat, and that it's like
toe tapper.
Can't help but like get going. It's just, I don't know, it's a big boost. It's an energy boost. Like, even just playing that now, that little bit, I just wanted to get right up out of my seat and get going. And I think that, for a lot of, I mean, when you're talking about the holiday and all that, it's, there's a lot of things going on during the holiday, but I don't know. I love the music. It's definitely a get up and go type of thing. And the thing is too, with these guys, like, this record, the song, which is also off the record, the same name, was released in 2002. And this was something I didn't know. So by the way, anybody who played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, this song was all over it. So
Oh.
Any video game nerds out there, especially Tony Hawk Pro Skater, this song is in there. But the thing I actually didn't know, and so for all you other, music nerds out there like myself, Dave King. So the band is actually LA based, but Dave King, who's the lead singer, chief songwriter for the band, is from Ireland. And he was also in the band Fastway and Kathmandu back in the 80s. So any 80s rock people are in there. I did not actually know that Dave King was in Fastway. Fastway kind of was like a C tier, like metal, like I wouldn't say metal, but hard rock band back in the 80s. So it was actually kind of interesting to read that for sure. I did not know that. So it's kind of funny to see like how it comes from like 80s, like hard rock to like this Celtic punk sound that is like way better than Fastway ever was for sure. I mean, I having heard Fastway all those years ago, I was like, yeah, this is a big difference. But I love this band. I think they're great. I mean, they really are. So, but I'm interested to hear your perception. I mean, so far you say you like it. But I want to see where it ranks in the Amanda Sharp pantheon of ratings.
I feel like this is one that if I just heard it in the middle of December, I would still be tapping my toes. I really like it. I need to deep dive into their catalog a little bit more to compare it to some of their other music, because I had never really, I think, listened to many of their other songs, if at all. So I feel like I need to, I don't know if, I guess, okay, so let me put it this way.
All right.
If I listen to St. Patrick's Day music all day long on Friday, would I be tired of it? I don't know.
I got to tell you, so when I'll say my answer to that is when I normally go out, and I will be out on St. Patrick's Day. Sure. I do get a little like, because what happens is when you go from place to place, everybody seems to play the same songs, and that gets, I don't know, it gets boring fast.
Yeah, and that's when we were kind of figuring out our list. I didn't think we should just come in with 6 of these type of sounding songs.
Right.
It would have been a really, I mean, while the music is super fun and toe tapping, I guess, and it gives you energy, but I do think like after 6 songs, we'd be like, all right, guys, settle down, Amanda and Chris.
Absolutely. And I also, just to that point too, is like, not all Irish music sounds like the Celtic, like punk and that like Dropkick Murphys. Like, Ireland has a lot to offer people.
Yeah. There's
musically.
A lot of the folk sounding.
Yes.
The very, I'm going to say opera, but that's the wrong word.
Yeah.
But like there's that, oh gosh, who are those popular women that sing?
Oh, like the,
I know, I can see them. I can't think of what they're, but they like, they have like really this echoey sound and it's so beautiful. And I just love it. So okay, so back to this song, though. I really took so many directions. Back to this song. I love that it's the Irish jig. It's very fun. I love the lyrics. I think it just comes from a fun spirit, which is a lot of that type of sounding music just comes from a spirit of funness or losing your, a lot of this is their country. Like it's the making of country songs too. They just sing it way like more upbeat.
No, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between the country, like the shuffle, to like Celtic punk.
Instead of I lost my Molly to another man, it's I lost my Molly to another man. Like it's so much happier. You add a jig to any sad story, and people are tapping their toes to your pain.
100%.
Okay, I keep digressing. Back to
so
your
where does it rank? Where does it rate for you?
So sorry. All right, I'm coming in very strongly with 4 records on this one.
Right.
I think it's fun.
Right on, Amanda Sharp.
4 records. I appreciate
Flogging
you
Molly.
sharing this. Flogging Molly. I mean, the name alone just is a riot.
It is. It is a riot. I mean, I just they're such a great band. And by the way, they've been on like so many of the talk shows and things like that. So if you go on YouTube, you can watch like. I am absolutely telling everybody, go like on YouTube, watch some Flogging Molly live stuff because you're going to be blown away like how awesome they are live. Like so much energy. So good.
Love it.
Cool. So I will take your 4 records and I will love it and hold it and hug it. So happy. What a way to kick off the show.
Absolutely.
Some Flogging Molly and 4 records for me. That is awesome. That is awesome. Hey, so real quick before we continue on, I do want to say thank you very much as we're talking about green.
Yes, we are.
I actually had a great opportunity to meet the folks from Heavy Metal Cannabis over the weekend,
Woo!
and they were very, very nice to help me actually hook me up with this cool like Heavy Metal Cannabis hat that they
Love
just
it.
launched, and they gave me a cool shirt. So I was like super stoked about that. So it was really nice of them. And so they just launched that new brand, Heavy Metal Cannabis, and it's a good combination between Berkshire Roots and Heavy Metal Magazine. So thank you, James Winokur, for the hookup. I appreciate you guys. And so definitely check out Heavy Metal Cannabis, your local dispensary. Coming soon near you.
Let's be honest, they're everywhere, especially in Michigan. It is all legal. And
Yeah.
they're like every corner, it's like a liquor store. Like I'm like, okay. But they're really pretty. Like the buildings are gorgeous and it's really, really nice. And just a side note, they are not sponsoring this particular episode, maybe in the future, but this particular episode. So if you want us to kind of give a shout out to your brand, let us know and send us some stuff and we would be happy to wear it and help grow it and just have fun with it because hey, who doesn't love some merch? And we'd love to support other small businesses.
That's right. We love free swag, just saying. And we will wear it on the show.
If we just want to put it that simply, yes.
Yeah. No shame in this game.
We're very easy to figure out.
We are. So yeah. But thank you guys so much. It was really nice of you to hook us up over the weekend. So thanks. All right. So moving back into the show, I gave you Drunken Lullabies, which I loved your 4-record rating. Mm-hmm. You gave me a song that I was not shocked to see on this list, but like super pumped because I love this song. I think that Dreams by the Cranberries is just an amazing song. I love it. I love the feel of it. I love Dolores O'Riordan's voice. I always thought the Cranberries were a very cool band when they came out on the scene with their first record. And then even like the other record, the second record, I think with Zombie on it. So just have always been a really great band, not afraid to explore like from pop songs to even something heavier, write really thoughtful lyrics on things, just for a pop, quote unquote pop band, which I never really kind of considered them to be that. I just always found them to be an interesting band that just, musically went there and did different things. And I always appreciate them. And this song though, I love this song. I think it's a great, just well-structured song, super memorable. I remember watching this movie, and this was the song had already come out. So it was an Asian film called Chungking Express, which I highly recommend everybody going out and watching. And they did there was an Asian version of Dreams on there, and they kept playing it throughout the whole, because the song kind of like ties into like the overall theme of the film, and it just and I just loved like even that version of the song being played on the soundtrack throughout the film, and just a really cool movie. And the song itself works so well with it, so made me love the song even more after watching Chungking Express. So so let's hear a little bit of Dreams. I think everybody's kind of heard this song.
And when you dive into them,
it soars. It soars.
It does. And the first notes are so great.
So great. Like
this just takes me back.
Such a great sound.
And when you look back, they have a lot of like traditional Irish music too.
They do. They mix it up. Her voice,
so
absolutely awesome. Yeah. So according to songfacts.com, this is a very hopeful song in which frontwoman Dolores O'Riordan sings about meeting a special someone who makes her deliriously happy. She says, I wrote that song about my first love when I was living in Ireland. It's all about really feeling in love for the first time. So it's like the explanation is great. It's awesome. Written by Dolores O'Riordan and Cranberries lead guitarist Noel Hogan, Dreams is a second charting single by the Cranberries from their first album. Together with Linger, which everybody remembers was their first, which great song too.
So good.
Really good song. was off that record. These two singles forged the name for the band and carried them until a thundering and thunderously successful Zombie from their second record. Dolores O'Riordan was just 20 years old when the song was first released in 1992. Wow, 1992, as the group's debut single, and Her Youthful Innocence comes through on the song, and it helped get the group some attention. In 1994, when it was reissued, it became a modest hit. The song peaked at number 42, which I find that weird, but it peaked at number 42 on the U.S. charts and number 27 in the UK. I love
that. That seems unacceptable.
It seems unacceptable when I read that, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like it's one of these songs that came out hit, and it's only gotten more popular as the years have gone on.
I have to agree with that point there, because I think even within this last year, there's been just a uptick of people using it in their Instagram reels, TikToks. Me specifically.
Yeah, you specifically.
Used it a handful of times, probably too many, but I just really love it. And when you say it was written to describe that first love, I mean, when you said that, how many people can remember that feeling of your first love and how strong it felt? And you can look back now and go, wow, it was so not it. But you can't disregard that feeling of how it just caught on to you.
Yeah.
You got the love bug.
You got the love bug for sure. And actually, we were just talking about the chart thing, and I just read here, it goes, according to Songfacts ago, they say, if it seems like you've heard this song a lot more than it would be justified by its chart position, that's because it's usually a soundtrack-friendly song. It has appeared in films Mission Impossible, You've Got Mail, Boys on the Side, The Next Karate Kid, Shot Through the Heart, The Babysitter's Club, and it was also appeared in TV series 90210, Jag, and My So-Called Life. My So-Called Life. Awesome show, by the way. And great soundtrack. If you get your hands on it.
Excellent. I love so much about this. So Chris, tell me where you rate this baby.
This is a 5-record song. Woo! Easy. It's an easy 5-record song for me because it has all the hallmarks of being a great song. It's well written. It's a fantastic song. Like it's a non-skippable song. In my book, it's a non-skipper. You try to skip this song in my car, I'm stopping, you're getting out. You're getting thrown out. It's a no skipper. Pulling right over, get out. I may not even stop. I just say get out. Get out. I hope you know how to roll.
Oh, that would be a fantastic reel. Like the sound of the locks unlocking, the door opening, and then someone tucking and rolling.
Yeah, tucking and roll. That's it.
You're
out.
I would never subject your beautiful wife and beautiful daughters to that. Do you have a buddy that maybe you can have create that reel for us?
I think so. I'll have to find a buddy.
It cannot include the women in your life.
Okay. Duly noted.
Just want to, Rachel, you heard me say that.
Duly noted.
So 5 records. I love it.
Yeah, it's a 5-record song. I mean, I think that's an easy one. I mean, I don't know. It's a great song, and I don't feel like, as we were saying, like it wasn't a huge chart topper, but it's been, I think, culturally relevant in pop culture. And as you were just saying, even more so now too, with the fact that you can put it into reels and TikTok and everything. I think it's a great song. It's a song that it's going to live on. It's got some good shelf life. I mean, released in 92, it's 2023. Song is still very relevant.
Gosh, it's so. And then Dave Mattingly, who's often on our live feeds here, he had put it into our group about this was his favorite Cranberries song. Which makes me just like Dave even more.
Yeah, Dave's the best.
He really
Thank you for all your support, Dave.
Absolutely. Okay, so do we want to dive into our second songs, or do you want to love on?
Oh yes, it is that. It is that time. Thank you so much for the reminder. Yes, it is that time to take a little sponsor break and thank our great friends over at campsite.bio. Now, listen, if you're a avid listener of the show, if you've been following us for a while and listening to at least like the last, I don't know, 20 episodes of the show, then you know how much we love our friends over at campsite.bio because they're just wonderful. I mean, listen, they are an all-inclusive link in bio. So when we talk about link in bio, if you don't know what we're talking about, The link in bio, it's that one link that you get on your social channel, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even Facebook has got like you could put one link up in your bio. It is 100% that spot that you can own where you click it, and guess what? All your links in one spot. Why is that a good thing? Well, if you're a marketer, if you're a business owner, if you're content creators like us, or hey, you're just somebody who has a lot of links that you want to share with everybody, campsite.bio is the way to go. You can put everything all in one spot. It's super customizable. You can go in there. You can hook up any of your backend, your analytics, any data tracking. If you have an online store, if you have a podcast like how Amanda and I have our show and other shows that we do, we can have everything all in one place. We can integrate it right there with our YouTube channel, so you can go on and watch YouTube videos that we post on air, our podcast, and all the places where you can listen to it. Integrates really well with Spotify and Apple, so that way you can listen to the episode of the show right through campsite.bio. So it really is 100% a blazing fast bio link made your way. And if you want to convert more followers into customers, campsite.bio is it. You can download it for free right now using the link in our show notes or video description, wherever you're listening or watching to this. And you can download it for free. However, our gift to you as an avid listener of the show is that if you use the code in that link in our bio, in our little show notes thing here, you get $10 off a pro plan. And I'm going to tell you, once you're done using the free sample, you're going to want that pro plan because it gets you so much access to all the back-end data, analytics, customizations, all those special extra features that really unlock the true power of campsite.bio. So I urge you, my friends, if you're listening to the show, if you're watching us, campsite.bio is the way to go. Amanda Sharp, any final words about our friends at campsite.bio?
Listen, you all know I need the easiest path to getting what I want done, and campsite.bio is the way to do it. It is so user-friendly. You just tap in your information and magically appears. It is beautiful. I mean, 5 minutes or less, you're set up.
Yep.
Your link is your most valuable real estate in your online presence. Use it wisely.
Yep. So create your space on the web and convert more followers into customers with a link in bio tool created just for you. Join over 200,000 creators, agencies, and brands already on campsite.bio. Stay in control of your brand to create a bio link that matches you. We love it. You should love it too. Campsite.bio. Thank you, friends. We appreciate you.
Hey, I could talk about them all day. All right.
They're truly great.
Back to our regular programming, because that's what our listeners want.
That's
and we're
right.
moving on with Chris's second song to me, which is Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy.
What a burner.
Man.
Burner.
And you know what? Both of our second songs have a similar feeling to them. So I'm excited to go into my choice to you when we get there. But
that was purposeful, by the way.
Was it? Oh, I mean, because when I'm listening to him, I'm like, ooh, this is very Van Morrison sounding.
Yes.
Jazzy,
absolutely.
Smooth and captivating. And I really liked this, Chris.
I thought you would. Now, I know you know Thin Lizzy, right? I mean, you know, boys are back in town. Like, I think So I think you've heard that. Now, this song was like, it wasn't as big as Boys and Back in Town, but it's definitely on like considered part of like Thin Lizzy's greatest hits. And I think it was the kind of the biggest song off this record, Bad Reputation, that came out back in the day. But I thought that you would like the song. I didn't know if you'd ever heard it though.
No.
Okay. So this was definitely one you hadn't heard before.
Have not heard before, but I mean, as soon as it starts, it's got the elements that Amanda loves. There's that jazziness, it's buttery sounding. And I wouldn't have guessed, from one song to this sound. It just sounds different to me. Like the Boys in Back of Time, that song is totally different than this feeling. I really, really like this one. Yeah,
so let's hear a little bit of Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy.
I mean,
by the way, in parentheses, it's caught me in the spotlight.
I'm hooked right away.
Phil Lynott, great front man, great bass player. What a voice.
Well, you took me with a glance.
I mean, where does this song take you, man? Like, I hear this song and I feel transported.
Yeah, I do. Like, it's not right this second when I hear it. When it starts and I just start enjoying it, I'm going back in time. I don't know where I'm landing, but it ain't here. It ain't today. It ain't present. But I'm dancing in the moonlight. It's caught me in its spotlight. You know what's funny is now that I've heard it several times, I was like, I've always known this song. That's what's weird about this one.
It feels so like wow.
Like home.
Yeah.
Because I don't think if you would have told when you sent me these songs, like I truly did not know this one. And now I just feel like it's such a staple in my world. So to me, that's a making of a really good song.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So Dave Mattingly check in with I Prefer the Original by King Harvest. I actually didn't know that this was a cover song, Dave. So I think you know something I don't know.
And Dave, you missed us. We were just talking about you because we had just finished up on Cranberries and I had said that you had said that it was your favorite song. So your ears must have been burning and you came on in. Well, I'd be curious to see how they sing it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to check that out because I'm kind of like, wow, I just learned something new because I didn't know that. So I was reading this. I have an article from loudersound.com and they're just talking about the recording of this record in particular, Bad Reputation, and they were talking about the song. So it says 1 week into the recording appeared Thin Lizzy might not just be down a guitar player, but also a producer. When Viscotti threatened to leave the session, telling O'Donnell, I can't work with these guys, they're falling down drunk. The manager duly flew to Toronto to salvage the situation and convince all involved that they are working on something special. It's a great record. It's fantastic. And by the way, that's the single, Dancing in the Moonlight. A jazzy, swinging, finger-tapping tale of teenage romance on the streets of South Dublin is the centerpiece of what became Bad Reputation. Album was initially presented to Scott Gorham, who's the guitar player, and drummer Brian Downey as just a simple bass line. Gorham recalls Phil, as in Phil Lynott, lead singer, bass player of Thin Lizzy, says, I've got this kind of groove. What do you think? And Gorham says, and I said, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. And I had another groove in my head that was different than the way he was presenting it. Mine was tougher, whereas his was more skippy. But he was pretty adamant on the way he was presenting it and was the most commercial approach. I said, okay, I'll go with your way. You've been right in the past. So that's why I was like, I didn't know this was a cover. So according to this, it made it sound like that it was an original. So Dancing in the Moonlight was a top 20 hit in the UK. It helped propel its parent record to number 4 in the UK, their highest placing to date, and put them back in the US top 40. It'll become a high point of the band's live set, immortalized the following year in a magnificent, I agree, Live and Dangerous album, and remains essential to Thin Lizzy live experience for decades on. And I will say the live version of this song is very good. It's very good.
So that's very intriguing to me. So they were all drunk and they were like, I can't work under these conditions. And then this amazing tone comes out of it. Men are fascinating to me because women could not have pulled that off. It would have turned into something totally different. I mean, about to be a blowout, and then they just come up with this smooth, jazzy, buttery recording. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how the creative process truly works sometimes.
I find that hilarious.
But that's music. But that's music for it.
That's true talent. That's true artists, and I guess it's just men too. But
I guess so.
I'm just gonna jump right into the rating here because I love it.
Jump right into the rating.
I just love it. And I'm going straight for 5. I feel this. I'm feeling this episode a ton.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. I thought I was pretty sure you were gonna really like this song. And once again, yes, very different from my first song, but that was also I wanted to sort of like mix it up a little bit. But yeah, when you had sent me your second song, which spoiler, it's Van Morrison, I was like, you know what? I'm going to send something that's very adjacent. I know Phil Lynott was also a very big Van Morrison fan. I mean, and listen, I think coming from Ireland, like, how could you not be influenced by Van Morrison and, you know, the sound that he brought there, which I think was very influential to many, many artists in Ireland. So I think that it's just a no-brainer. That was kind of like, okay, well, I love Van Morrison, so I'm going to write a song that's sort of like this Van Morrison-esque kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So just thus proving once again how great Van Morrison is. But I'll reserve my comments for when it's my turn.
So 5 records, Dancing in Moonlight, which what a perfect segue to go into Van Morrison.
That is right. That is right. So your second song to me, can anybody guess what it is? It's Van Morrison. But what I do like is the song you chose. You chose a good one, Amanda Sharp.
Thank you.
And I'm not sure if this makes people's lists or not, right? So I don't know, but I'd be interested to see if this makes people's lists of songs that they just like. But you gave me Days Like This, which happens to be, by the way, on my summer playlist.
Ooh.
It's on my summer playlist for this. This is a great song to me, like hanging out in a backyard where, just chilling, sitting in the pool, like listening to music. And then this one comes on and you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. It's hard for me, it's what, like, Van Morrison's voice to me is just so iconic, and you can hear it on anything, anywhere, and just be like, it just puts you right in that mood. That frame of mind of, like, whether you're having fun or you just want to hang out and chill. Like we were just talking about how that Thin Lizzy song kind of brings you to a time or a place or a feeling. And I feel that way with Van Morrison. So this was a really cool song for sure. So I'm going to play a little bit of it so everybody can hear, but this should all be on your lists. Add this to a list today. Add this to a list.
Today is right.
When it's not always raining. There'll be days like this.
Such a good one.
When there's no one complaining.
I do believe my favorite like
Really?
Everything
I really do.
Face,
I'm connected to this one for some reason.
Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this.
So good. So good. So this was released. And here's the other thing too about Van Morrison is because Van Morrison is so good, you just kind of lump it all into like, sort of like the 70s or like, and the song was released in 1995.
Interesting.
At the height of like grunge and even pop punk starting to break and like 1995, Van Morrison drops Days Like This.
I was like, let's take it back a little. Let's just take it back. We're gonna take back the 90s.
Yeah, this is just awesome. And it has really become one of his most popular songs. Now, once again, if you're going by charts, it really only peaked at number 65 in UK, but it reached in the United States number 17 and number 12 on the US Billboard.
Okay.
So still not bad in 1995 when you consider what was dominating the airwaves in 1995. So if I did that research, but I'm telling you, in 1995, you have a lot of like the grunge bands, you have a lot of the boy bands, the pop bands, dominating, and yet Van Morrison can come in like a rocket, drop a song and still make the top 20 in US Billboard with a brilliant tune.
He just did it for fun.
I mean, why not? And he's like, I still got it.
Yeah, I'm going to shake up a few things here.
By the way, I still got it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm just going to drop this. So, but I loved it. And the other cool thing about this song too, which I didn't know, but I think it's definitely worth noting about how important this song is, I think, to people and to culture, is that it actually became the official anthem of the peace movement in Northern Ireland, and the Northern Ireland office used it along with Brown Eyed Girl as the theme music for television advertising promoting the ceasefire in Ireland. So I think that's really cool too. And it's that kind of song. It's just that great of a song that should be on everybody's playlist.
Do you ever think, when you use the word ceasefire, to think in our lifetime, we hope for ceasefire, like that just,
we do.
You read about it in the history book and you just don't think that it applies to modern day times. It seems so mind-boggling to me.
It would be nice to see ceasefire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I fully support that. Dave Madden checking other great Van Morrison songs. Absolutely, Dave. Agree with you. Moondance, Domino, Here Comes the Night, Brown Eyed Girl. Boom, 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 and boom. I mean, all great songs. I mean, Van Morrison just should be on everybody's best of lists.
I'm not gonna go into the story because it's a little It's just not. But Brown Eyed Girl.
Story time.
Most people probably love Brown Eyed Girl most. Or that is possibly his most popular song.
It has to be, because any bar, any pool hall, any place there's a jukebox available, Brown Eyed Girl guaranteed to come on. Guaranteed.
Yes.
Every time.
So when you have a bad memory with said song,
oh no.
It's not a good song.
Oh.
I can go back. I won't go into all the details, but I went to a dance with this guy, and it just was very terrible for so many different reasons. And he sang this song to me during a dance.
Brown Eyed Girl.
Yes, and I just can't escape from that moment, that day.
You sound triggered and traumatized.
A little bit. It was terrible. So anytime I hear this song, I'm like, click, turn it off. Like I skip Brown Eyed Girl. I'm so sorry to Van Morrison, because it's nothing personal.
No, it's just nothing personal against
it. It's tied to a memory. And they play it at like sporting events, everything.
I know. It's
everything.
Everything.
And here it takes me back to that dance every time.
You need to have a good experience with the song to erase the bad experience.
That's fair. And since I never let it play out, I probably never will. So maybe I need to manipulate a good experience with the song.
I think so. You may have to manufacture a good experience with this song.
Okay. All right. So we'll have to orchestrate a day to make Amanda love that song again.
Right.
Or maybe not love it, just not go back to the bad memories.
Right. Well, what I'll have to do is when I finally come out to visit you.
Yes.
We'll go to a karaoke bar, and I will just murder Brown Eyed Girl in front of you. And just make it and maybe that'll erase the memory. and
offline, I don't mean to like withhold from our listeners, but I'll tell you the story behind it, and you tell me if it's appropriate for the airways.
Dave Mattingly, you can share my good experience, Amanda. My late wife used it as her ringtone for me since she was my Brown Eyed Girl. Oh, that's sweet, Dave.
That's sweet. It makes me want to cry.
Oh, that is sweet.
I will remember that. See, I didn't even have to manipulate one. One came. Nope.
There you go.
That is sweet. So I'll think of Dave now every time I hear this song.
There you go. That is a great memory.
I don't know if you like that or not, but it's now just what's happening.
Yeah, he did say you can share my good experience.
That's true.
He's willing to share it with you.
He maybe didn't expect for the rest of my life to think of Dave every time I hear Brown Eyed Girl, which we just to my previous point is all the time.
It's everywhere and anywhere.
My husband's gonna be everywhere. Like, "Who the heck is Dave?"
It's Dave.
Dave. Maybe I'm gonna write a song about Dave one day.
You should. You have a lot of songs to write, by the way. You gotta get working on
so many
it.
songs. Yeah. I need a person in my life to help me with that.
Yeah. We
keep putting out these blanket like requests, and we get nothing.
No one's biting.
No one's biting.
No one's biting.
All right. So 5 records, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes. 5 records. We didn't even get to the rating. Thank you for bringing it back.
Is that leading a witness?
You're leading the witness. No, it's fine. It's a good memory. It's a good reminder of the theme of the show, which is to rate the records that we talk about or rate the song. So yes, it is a 5 record song because it's on my playlist. Right. The whole goal is to get these songs on playlists that'll live on forever. This is on a playlist. It's a 5 record song. I don't know. Challenge me to that. That's all I got to say.
This show is just like, woo.
We're on fire with the ratings today. There are no Uptown Girls in this show today.
That's true. Well, I guess we haven't went to our number 3 picks yet, so there's still room. No, I totally.
Oh boy!
All right, Chris's 3rd song to me is "Teenage Kicks" by the Undertones.
The Undertones.
Look, it's good.
Your face right now. It's like it's good.
Listen, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Sure, it's fine. It's all fine.
All right, play a little.
All right, let's.
And I'm totally kidding about the Uptown Girl thing. We just play it up. Makes you think one way or another.
Love it.
Makes me think of that song. What song is that?
Could be.
Teenage dreams so hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street, another girl in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
She looks so good.
I will say I do actually like this song. I was totally teasing. I like the story behind it, behind the lyrics. It's pretty cute. Like, hey, listen, the penalty is worth the crime. I'll do it over. I just have to get more clever about it.
Okay.
And it's cute. It's cute to me. So I dig it. I think it's coming. We've often said, like, the lineup of these songs can affect the rating. Because, right, and I think coming after Dancing in the Moonlight is almost a little unfair for Teenage Kicks, because I think had this ended up on a list, like, say, next week with some other songs, maybe I would love it even more.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I don't dislike it at all.
Right. So it's just different for you.
Yes, it's different. It's cute. I think the story is way more cute than the actual sound of it, but I don't dislike the sound of it.
Yeah, I mean, what I really dig about it is it's the rawness of it, and it's the beginnings of, like, a sound, and, like, also you can see, like, the influence of, like, what was going on in the UK as far as the Sex Pistols go. I mean, this is 1978, so you know, Sex Pistols are already gone by now. But you can see, like, sort of how, like, the punk movement in England, like, started spreading across all the other countries and people getting influenced. And I love that the Undertones are sort of like their, like, very, like, just great Irish version of that, and the rawness. And I just think they are, like, the start of, like, the how punk is, like, with the raw, like, garage sound, but also, like, with great, like, you know, hooks, and it's like just those things. Like, it's the roots of pop punk, honestly. I mean, that's what I love about it. And, you know, I love the fact that they're an Irish band, and I think that, and this is just my opinion, I feel that history, like, sort of kind of forgets about them in the conversation of, like, influential punk bands. I know a lot of people like to talk about Stiff Little Fingers, who extremely influential historic punk band, but I just kind of feel like the Undertones get a little lost in that conversation when you're maybe not as commercially as successful in the sense of how Stiff Little Fingers went on and all that, but still, like, very much part of the conversation, I think, when people are talking about European punk, and especially in Ireland as well. You know, like, you could bet money that U2, especially early U2, was very much influenced by the Undertones and what they were doing.
Really?
100%. I mean, there's no way about it. Like, U2, in their very early origins, were a punk band. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be a punk band. Like, that what they all grew up on was punk music. And I mean, obviously too, when you listen to their lyrics, but I mean, they grew up on, you know, the Clash, the Sex Pistols, but, like, also what was going on in the Irish, like, underground music scene at that time. And so they were 100% influenced by, I mean, listen to those first few records, and especially keying on the lyrics. I mean, you know, Sunday Bloody Sunday, like, you know, lots of these huge protest songs, and you know, about what's going on. And so all that stuff was, like, taken from, you know, obviously what they were experiencing, but very, very punk influenced.
Very interesting. And, you know, it's just because I think people would thought U2 is obviously not on their list this time, but I mean, it's not from lack of them not being fantastic, right?
No, not at all. It's not that we not at all. I mean, and it's like an obvious one. Like, okay, we talked about Van Morrison and stuff like that, but to me, that was also, like, the reason why, once again, I left off. Well, first of all, I left off Dropkick Murphys because they're not from Ireland, actually. That, you know, yes, they have Irish roots for sure, and Irish heritage, but they are a Boston band, and once again, they live off their heritage, and I think that that's great. They respect it, they put it into their music, awesome. But, you know, we wanted to, this was a song, bands from Ireland, and we wanted to feature them. And I think U2 is just like, hey, it's given. They have a huge fan base, but let's maybe let's have conversations about maybe some other songs or some other artists that people may or may not know. So that's what I really wanted to go to. Like, I know people know Thin Lizzy, but Dancing in the Moonlight is, I think, a really great song that, you know, it's not everybody's go-to all the time.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. Yeah. So Teenage Kicks by the Undertones. I again really appreciated the story. I'm gonna come in at 3.5 records. I think it's gonna land at 4. I really do. The more I listen to it, I think I'll adjust to the tone, and maybe if it's out of order than our playlist.
Yeah.
But for this kind of be like maybe that last version, it just sits a little different.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. I think for you, coming from you is a good rating, because it's not your music, it's not your type of music, but you also but you get it, and once again, this just goes to show your musical growth over the 3 seasons of the show. Because I think if I'd given you that song in season 1, you probably would have given it a 2.
Maybe I'll do a reel on that.
Your musical growth through the show, and by the way, it goes both ways.
Fair.
And I want to say too that the when I first heard this song, this was actually on a comp that I actually recommend everybody check out if you can find it. And I think that there may be a Spotify version of this too.
Okay.
But it was back in, I think it was in the 90s, right? Rhino Records, who are awesome at releasing archival music and putting compilations together. I love Rhino Records, always does a great job as far as respecting music and bands and putting together killer compilations and reissues and all that. They did back in 1993, they did a I think it was a 4-disc little box set thing, or 3-disc. I think it may have been 4-disc. And it was called UK. It was they did UK Pop 1, UK Pop 2. Then they did American Power Pop. They broke up that time in the 70s and the 80s of these bands that were influential and inspired each other. And it was just great. So you could hear the evolution of all these different bands. And I first heard Teenage Kicks on UK Pop 1, which is 1976 to 1979. And it was called DIY Teenage Kicks. So it was all, the songs on this were just awesome, all the different bands, but that's where I first heard Teenage Kicks was on that compilation.
Fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Sorry. I felt like that was a really long-winded story to say how I first heard Teenage Kicks.
People tune in for those stories, Chris.
I guess they do. I suppose they do. I don't know. Dave Manley also checking in with, I also recommend the Undertones, really, really, Here Comes the Summer and Get Over You. Great picks, Dave, for sure. Yeah, and Rhino Records, the best. One of the best. All right. I take your 3.5 records I catalog it and store it.
And I catalog and store it.
All right. So your final song to me.
Yes.
Which I am so not shocked was on your list. This was such an easy one to put on your playlist. And but
I struggle saying the name of the artist so much.
So it is the one and only Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor. I feel like I'm saying it wrong every time.
Yeah. With Nothing Compares to You. By far her biggest hit that she's ever had. Number 1 in the UK and number 1 in the United States of America, released in 1990. Written, as everybody knows, but if you don't know, then you're going to learn it for the first time. Written by Prince.
I didn't even know that.
Are you kidding me?
I did not know that.
I've never met anybody at this point who doesn't know that, so I shouldn't be shocked that hard, but I really thought that would be something you knew.
I couldn't even pull off my not shock that I had to address it, because I'm sure if I rewatch it, I'd be like, oh.
Written by Prince. And one of the dead giveaways too is the fact that Prince always used numbers in his songs, instead of saying the word two, he always said two, or for you, it was always four. That was a thing that was his entire career. So according to songfacts.com, Prince wrote and recorded the song in 1984, but never released it. Instead, he gave it to The Family, a band that was signed to his Paisley Park record label. They recorded the song in 1985 with their singer, St. Paul, handling the vocals. According to Peterson, he was asked to sing it in the style of Prince to get the right emotion. He thought about a girl named Julie who broke his heart in high school. The Family released the song on their 1985 self-titled album, which ended up being their only LP. Their version was never released as a single, and the song was seldom heard until Sinead O'Connor covered it 5 years later. Peterson would have liked for it to be his hit, but it wasn't all bad. He ended up getting married to Julie. Anyway, who the song was about, who he thought about when he was singing the song.
That's so sweet.
Now, Prince did release a live version of the song with Rosie Gaines on his 1993 album, The Hits and the B-Sides, but his original solo recording didn't appear anywhere until 2018 when his estate released it from the vault. His version is guitar-based with a much more rock feel. I highly recommend checking it out. Nothing Compares to You was a #1 hit in 17 countries. In the U.S., it was the top song of 1990, topping the Hot 100 for 4 weeks. It's been at #1. Amazing.
As it should have been.
Absolutely amazing. So, Prince, more about Prince on the song. Prince wrote this during a very creative period when he was coming up with a song about every day. According to his sound engineer, Susan Rogers, he wrote it at a rehearsal space in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, where he vanished for an hour and then he merged with lyrics on a notebook.
I can't handle it anymore. Like the napkins, the notebooks, 5-10 minutes. These people have masterpieces. How does this happen?
Well, it is Prince. So Prince is a magical being that I'm convinced that was transported to another dimension immediately when he was passed away. He was never of this world to begin with.
Fair. Every recording we do, there's some story of like this just magical like creation of the song. It just blows my mind.
Well, it goes on. He recorded the song on the spot.
Oh my god!
Playing the instruments himself with St. Paul and Susanna Melvin of the family on backing vocals. Eric Leeds added a saxophone part later. It was Sinead O'Connor's manager, Facta O'Kelly, who came up with the idea for the Irish singer to cover the Prince song.
I mean, I'm so happy.
Chris Hill, co-director of O'Connor's label, Ensign, recalled to Mojo Magazine in 2009, the first time we heard it, Facta O'Kelly, Sinead's manager, brought in a cassette, and when I heard it, I started to cry. I just sat there with tears in my eyes. O'Kelly rang up Sinead O'Connor and went, "Chris is crying. Was it that bad?" Sinead O'Connor asked. So when she first heard that. So this song was pretty, so a little bit. It won. So I just saw this where she won all the different awards for it, and she didn't show up at the Grammys and all that stuff. Yeah, it won like everything, and she's like, I'm not showing up. It basically goes on to say that. But anyway, listen, her performance, that video is great. She actually does cry. That is 100% a tear shed. And specifically during the line where she said that it was the one line that really got her to cry. It was real. And the director of the video was like, no, we're leaving it in. Like they were like, oh, we should do it again. And he was like, absolutely not. We're not doing it again. Like, we're leaving it in there. So yeah, she actually does cry. And that is a real tear in the video.
A real tear.
Yep. That is a real tear. So where do I rate this song? I mean, it is a really, really good song. I love that it's a Prince song. I feel like when I first found out it was Prince, I was like, it makes so much sense now that it's a Prince song, because it feels like a Prince song. Even, I mean, listen, she made it her own, like but you can hear the hallmarks of Prince in that song when she sings it. But I think it just goes to say a really well-written song, and especially if it finds its hands into the right singer and artist can really just make it timeless. The song is pretty timeless. I will say it's not a favorite song of mine. I do like the song. I think it's really well done. It's hard for me to put it as a 5 because I'm not a huge fan of the song.
Sure.
In that sense. But I appreciate it and I do like it. So I'm giving it 4 records.
Okay.
That way. So I know it sounds like I don't want to make it sound like I'm slagging on the song. It's just like it's a really good song and I love when it comes on the radio, but it's not something I would actually like go and just actively listen to.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if I would choose to just randomly listen to this song.
Sure.
But I do like it and I would not skip it. I would not skip the song. It's a non-skippable song. But I put it as a 4, if that makes any sense.
It does. It makes tremendous sense.
I think And I actually have yet to I gotta listen to the Prince re-release, his solo version of it. I actually have to go and check that out. I haven't checked that out yet. So this actually made me remember to go check that out.
Maybe we'll do a reaction video to that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it either.
Yeah. And Dave Mattingly is saying, I never got into Nothing Compares to You despite Prince, but I do like Sinead's Mandika. That is a very good song, though. I do agree. Mandika is a good tune from Sinead O'Connor. Amanda Sharp, why do you like that song? I want to hear your thoughts on it.
There's something about the passion behind it.
Yeah.
Where I could be not having anything relevant to that song happening in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I start hearing it and I just start singing it as if like my world is crumbling and all of the things. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It teleports me into like her body during the video with the real tear. It's stupid. Tear. Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's just, it really just hooks me and I can't not get through the song. Like, it just has to be the whole song.
All right. Very good.
Nothing compares.
Nothing compares to you. So actually the lyric that did trigger her tear in the video.
Oh yeah.
It was from her memoir, Rememberings. She said the lyric that triggered her was, all the flowers that you planted, mama, in the backyard all died when you went away.
Mm.
That was the tear.
That would be. Yeah.
That's where it happened. And on that note, actually, never even. Do I even need to? We didn't even play.
Oh, we didn't.
No, I mean, everybody knows the song. Great song.
Nothing can take away these blues. 'Cause nothing compares. I mean, life could be perfect when I'm singing this with conviction. It's silly.
I do like the way she says to you. Like,
yeah, there's like a
yeah. It's a good one. Yeah. So
beautiful.
Just in case there's one or two people in the world who've never heard Nothing Compares to You. There you go. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Oh boy. Well,
good day.
Great day celebrating the Irish and in the music. And believe me, I know there's so much music out there. 100%. Like, we're very well aware of it, but we're just giving you like just the smallest sampling of some Irish artists that we really like and songs by them. So we have put everything together once again on our playlist on Spotify, which you can check out by using the link in our show notes or going to our campsite.bio link and checking it out. It's right there. It's our 2023 playlist. You can hear all the songs we've been talking about since the start of this year, season 3, on the show. We also have playlists going back in 2022 and 2021. So all the songs that we talk about are all on there. It makes for a very, very eclectic and crazy playlist, but a lot of fun. It's like song roulette.
It really is.
You don't know what you're going to get next. If you listen to it on shuffle, it's like, you're definitely taking a risk.
Good conversation playlist regardless.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So, once again, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with us, and following the show, liking what we're doing, sharing the show. We appreciate each and every one of you. We see it all. So we just want to let you know that we are not blind to the fact that we see all the support that we're getting from everybody out there. So we do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that follow button or that subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to the show, because as we said at the top, it does help the show grow. It really does. That little action helps to let everybody else know that you like the show and lets the show become more discoverable to others who might like the kind of content that we're producing here. So that's true, right, Amanda?
It's very true. I mean, we do it for other people, so we hope people will do it for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like what you heard and you want to help support the show, you could do the whole sharing and following thing, but we do have bills to pay around here. So if you want to go over to buymeacoffee.com/song swap show, or use the link in our show notes, you can feel free to pick a level that you feel that we deserve for entertaining you today. We also have a tip jar at our campsite.bio as well. So feel free to make a little deposit so we can,
Cha-ching.
pay the bill this month.
Keep the lights on. So
ching, 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 for sure. Or, or you can become a sponsor of the show as well. As Amanda said, we love free merch, but we also once again need a little cash to keep the lights on here. So if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, please get a hold of us. Use the email in the show notes below, and we will get right back to you on that with all the information and data and analytics about the show.
And listen, the rates are very affordable.
They are.
I want to say that because I think a lot of people don't seek that because they think that the rates are just maybe out of their budget, but we assure you they are not. Reach out to us.
We assure you.
And we're willing to barter.
Yes, we absolutely are.
We're open to anything.
And if you've got some really cool swag.
Are you reading us at this point, people?
I mean, come on. Well, once again, we appreciate all of you for hanging out with us today. Everybody have an awesome rest of the week and enjoy your St. Patrick's Day responsibly. I'm going to add.
Yes, be safe.
That's the mom and dad of the show.
Yes, I worry every St. Patrick's Day. I come Saturday at noon, I was like, okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief. Everyone should be home and nestled.
Yes.
I worry. There's Ubers. Nope. There's no reason to have a bad time. It's 2023 with options galore. Have fun, but just please do it safe.
Yes, please do it responsibly. And I will be at one of my favorite bars in the world on St. Patrick's Day, O'Hara's in New York, right across the street from World Trade Center. It is an awesome bar. So if you're in the New York area, you all know about it. I will be there getting my new shirt because every year I go and buy a shirt. So it's part of the tradition.
It has to be packed.
Right.
I will be at home.
It gets packed.
Drinking coffee.
There you go. Hey, good. Hey, listen, not everybody has to partake in an alcoholic beverage to enjoy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. I just want everybody to know. There's other ways to celebrate the holiday.
Absolutely.
Especially green ones. So don't forget about this.
Be safe, everyone, but have a great time.
Yes, absolutely, everyone. And we will see you on another episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown next Monday. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And of course, you can listen to the show anywhere you get podcasts and watch the replays at all those same spots. Thank you all so much. See you soon. To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.